Podcast City Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Deathmatch Russell Podcast. Let's get it on!
Come into the ring, step into the fire, see what you want, baby. If your heart has desire, get out, get knocked down. Deathmatch Russell Podcast, Deathmatch Russell Podcast, Deathmatch Russell Podcast.
And good evening, everyone. You're listening to another episode of the Deathmatch Russell Podcast. And my guest this time, the Reverend, Ronnie Roberts. How are you?
Yay, man. I am fantastic. It's a little chilly outside, but that's okay because it's warm inside, and that's where I've been all day.
Yes, in hibernation and, preaching and praying and just doing your things that you do on a normal day,
Well, normal day, I got kids running around and we're doing our things, and I'm just praying I was just praying it's close to bedtime so I can have a break.
Yes. Yeah, let them
No,
go to
not
sleep.
really.
I know. Let them watch TV. Do they even have a TV, right? What are the kids these days? No, they got video games.
They got and want everything these days. Oh man.
They have what we had as generations back and as youngsters, days of playing video games from the arcade. I don't even think they even know what an arcade machine is anymore.
Most of them don't. Most of them have no idea, no clue.
No, but how you doing tonight? Pretty good.
I am well. Just relaxing. Was supposed to have a busy last few days and the weekend, and obviously the weather where I am has put a halt to all of that. So I'm just chilling.
Yeah. I know you keep busy with your schedule and on the wrestling scene these days. You're just busy. That's a good thing.
I got a few things going on.
Yes.
Probably busier. Most of my time spent actually training and promoting my own show at Grindhouse Pro Wrestling Academy.
Grindhouse is I love it. I love the product.
Good. It's it's a bunch of young guys, all the students. It just makes sense for us if we're going to teach you what you need to know about wrestling. We're going to give you a stage to go apply all those skills, and that's what we do. And those guys do a fantastic job. It's so good, I don't even have to get in the ring and wrestle.
No, you can coach them. That's a great part about being a wrestler and a coach as well.
That's it. That's it's my passion, and it's a skill that I have that I've honed over the years, and I've gotten pretty good.
And also, I'm going to throw back, and I know one of your guys, and he's a pain in the ass, Mr. Drusifer Jones. How's that guy? Mr. Road home from wrestling or something.
You say he's a pain. Why is he a pain?
No, he's just a funny pain because he'll always pick on you. I remember he used to call you out for those matches at that NWF or that what the hell was that, PTW? Yeah.
He used to call me out. You know what? He said some good things and he said some bad things, but I don't listen. I don't mind. You can say whatever you want. I think I did hit him up one time. Normally he would tag me in all of his stuff, and then he had something negative to say, and then he didn't tag me. So I think I had something to say about that. I was like, well, brother, if you're gonna tag me for the good, you gotta tag me for the bad too. I don't mind.
No, he's a great guy. I remember doing Facebook. Right. I did Facebook Lives when he used to do the Facebook Lives way back, and then your name was always mentioned. And I was like, oh, this guy, he's a great character. I love how his gimmick is, and he would just tell how it is with the pan in the hand,
Oh, always. Yeah, the collection. You gotta have the collection plate now. Listen, how else are we gonna get this building built, if we don't set aside a little fun for it, set aside some ducats, some greenbacks, if you will.
Yeah, that's great. It's just the way that character fits you pretty good, I was watching some other stuff of yours. I was like, this guy's, you have it down packed. It's like,
well, I mean,
it's a promo. I know.
It's not much of a character. I got to be honest with you. I mean, it's you. Well, you get, you get me, and that's what it is. Yeah. So, and, I hope I do myself fairly well.
Yes. Yeah, but you're also busy with also at OVW, big place to be a part of too as well.
Indeed, OVW, we're trying to do big things. Got a lot of eyes on us, not only nationwide but worldwide. And I'm excited, man. We've got a great group of guys and girls there, and I feel like we have the potential to level up a little bit. And I think a lot of people view us as I won't say like a little brother, but we'll put it that way, like a little brother compared to maybe a AEW or NWA or something like that, or an Impact. I think they view us as kind of like little cousin, little brother, but we got a potential to move on up the family tree a little bit here as long as we keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, because you have some stars that really shine, and my God, and it's the talent wise, and it, and you've seen it, and it's growing. That's what it's about. Wrestling's about growing characters and female characters, or just the way they were born and raised, born to show what they have to to do in the ring.
There it is. And Al Snow, he certainly gives us the platform and opportunity to go shine like stars, baby. So,
hey,
if we mix it up,
shout out to Al Snow, and thank you.
Shout out to Al Snow.
Collar and Elbow, yes.
I can't shout out Collar and Elbow because they ain't giving me, they're not paying me or anything. So,
No, I'm getting paid, so I hope I am still.
Okay, well, you shout him out then, but I'll shout out Al Snow. I love it. He's the main reason that I really enjoy going to OVW. I've learned so much working underneath Al, and I hope to continue to learn and to grow. And like I said, and we take it all to the next level.
Yeah, and you see a lot of faces that and it's like, wow, okay, I know these people. I've seen them at the Grindhouse. I've seen them here. You've seen people grow over the years too. Like a Haley J. Like a Hollywood Haley. Hollywood Haley.
Hollywood Haley J.
Yeah.
She actually, I'm the one who trained Haley J. In my transitioning from. Yeah, so she's kind of a Grindhouse kid because I started training her before I got to the Grindhouse, and then continued as I was at Grindhouse. So, yeah, she's one of mine as well. She catches all kinds of flack, and people just don't know that it's I'm probably the blame for it. They give her heck, they sure do, but you can pin that on me. And she's doing an outstanding job. She's growing and learning. So young in the business. That's
like a Billy Starks as well. I'm sure
Billy Starks. I have trained a little bit. Billy, she's graduated a Grindhouse graduate as well. I didn't start her, but I got to once I got there, she was still training with me a little bit as well. She's growing up. She's growing up.
I know she's everywhere,
man. She is everywhere.
She's her and her boyfriend. Jeez, they're everywhere. He's on TV tonight, actually, on Beyond.
Oh yeah,
Dream Match, Beyond Wrestling. Yes.
Okay, who's he have?
I don't even know. Good question.
Oh, he has a dream match. It's not much of a dream. We don't know who it is. Huh?
Yeah. Well, I guess his dream was to go to Beyond too. So
okay. That's all right. I got you. I wouldn't know.
Everybody has their bucket list of places, to go.
Fair enough. My bucket list is just to the top. That's where I want to go.
To the
my
top.
Bucket list.
To the top and get that gold around your waist. That's the key in the business.
Yeah, man. That's the key. And the main reason is we gotta have gold around the waist so I can have more gold in my pockets.
Yes.
That's the deal.
Let me ask you this. When was the last time you held a title? Ooh.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Go back to the cage match and look. No.
I don't. You know what? That's a great question. I don't know. It's been a few years. I think I simultaneously held a heavyweight title and tag team title at the same time a few years back. But so probably 3 years. It's been about 3 years, and the way I look at it is in the last 3 years I've been spending more time working on the training, coaching than I have the wrestling. So the fact that I was able to almost snag that OVW title, and I don't feel like that I'm, fully in the game, I'm feeling pretty good, which actually did kind of in my head, it played with my head a little bit. I'm like, wait a minute, if I feel like I'm spending most of my time coaching and training and yet I can still get here, what if I focused a little bit and started training again? So I had to change a few things, and that way I can end up on top and stay on top this time.
Yeah. Gotta get the comments in the room. Gotta let people chat to us as well. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I don't. Do we have comments? Are the comments
Not
there?
Yet.
Okay.
Yet. Nothing yet.
All right.
That's okay. We always have to keep an eye. It's whatever. But I don't pay attention to that as much. Pay attention straight ahead. I'm trying to focus myself this way now. Straight to the camera. I've always looked down at my podcast, and that's not a good thing.
Yeah, but, you gotta get your face up. That's your money maker right there, brother.
I know. But let me ask you this, Ronnie. Growing up, what was it like for you as a kid for watching wrestling?
Oh man, that was the end all be all to me. I loved wrestling as a kid. I watched every single second of any wrestling that I could see on a video, I can see on TV, that I can see if I can't, we couldn't afford the pay-per-view, so I'd have to watch through the squiggly line sometimes.
Oh, I know, I remember that.
And hear the sound.
ECW was like that. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, this was before ECW came around. But I guess I was still a kid when ECW came around. Just an older kid. But I tell people this all the time. One of my earliest memories is I'm 3 years old, and I'm sitting in front of the couch. My great grandmother is laying on the couch behind me. She's she had a few different illnesses. She was hooked up to the old school oxygen tank with a big old heavy tank was on the floor, and the tubes were in her nose, and she's just laying there. And man, I tell you what, Ric Flair and the Horsemen came out and started beating up Dusty Rhodes, and you would for a sickly lady, if you saw her in that moment, you would have no idea she had any kind of ailment, because she set up and that Ric Flair's dirty, takes the house shoe off, throws it at the TV. She takes the other house shoe off, she throws it at the TV. I was sitting too close. She grabbed a hold of my head, and I'm just like, whoa, And,
swinging you around like a wrestler. Swinging like a doll, like a kid doll.
Yeah, wrestling has been a passion in my family for a very long time. Like I said, that was my great grandmother. So my grandmother enjoyed it, my mother enjoyed it, and now it comes to me, and lo and behold, my kids enjoyed the same way.
And then going to your first independent show, what was that like? Ooh.
Or
house show.
I vaguely remember I went to some shows when I was super young.
Yeah.
My mother would take me, and I remember I got a couple memories that stand out. One is the WWF in Rupp Arena in Lexington, Kentucky, and seeing Papa Shango for the first time. Do you remember Papa Shango?
Yes.
He came out, and there was a guy in the ring, and he came out and just walked up the steps and never actually entered the ring, and did some hand motions with his thing, and all of a sudden the guy's boots were on fire. I remember that very well. I remember my first independent show as well, because I was like 18 when I first to my first what we think of as an indie show these days. And it's funny because you're so used to watching all these guys on TV, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, man, I can do this. It's like I can, and I wanted to do it, and I just didn't know how to get into the business at the time. It wasn't quite as easy back then.
No, because to find this research and because the research was hard to come by because we had AOL and MySpace.
Yeah, man, and that was just coming out back then. When I was 18, the internet was just popping off. It was just starting. And in my last memory, I remember Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan in Louisville, Kentucky, in a cage, where it was Hollywood Hogan versus Ric Flair, and then all of a sudden the fans kind of forced them to switch roles, and we got the old school Hogan and the old school Flair, bad guy Flair, and it was phenomenal. Those guys, phenomenal. Those guys, it was perfect. They crushed.
Yeah,
they crushed.
That's like me. That's like me as a kid. I always tell the story how I went to WrestleMania 5 with my father in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Nosebleed seats, sitting up there, Mega Power sign in hand.
Mega Powers, yeah,
feel it. But
I do that all the time, nonstop.
I know. But yeah, and sitting 5 rows next to me was Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse the Body.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know, that's like and to hear like the thump of the ring with a microphone when they had a microphone by the ring, when you heard that, now you don't hear it. Yeah. But the atmosphere.
Depends on where you are. You still hear it sometimes.
Yeah, but no, that Hogan and Macho Man. There we go. Like two rivals that would always great characters in the right sense. And Ricky the Dragon, of course, Macho Man, and Hogan and all his feuds with Andre and Big John Studd and this and that. And, yeah.
Oh yeah. Now I admit I was much more. Now I watched everything. So of course I watched the WWF. I was much more of a fan of the more Southern wrestling. I liked Georgia Championship, and then WCW, Mid Atlantic, and all that stuff. You had all the Bill Watts territories. I caught a little bit of WCCW. I don't know what channel that was on or how I caught it, but I caught some of that as well. I caught all the Southern stuff. That was my joint. I loved all of that, mainly because I thought they were just they presented a better wrestling.
And also Smoky Mountain as well. Don't forget
Smoky Mountain later. Yes. You're making me date myself over here because
okay.
When I was a kid, there was no Smoky Mountain, not yet.
No. Unless we were smoking on the mountain.
Smoking on the mountain. Well, I wasn't doing none of that back then. That's for sure.
Nobody.
But yeah, it was that Southern wrestling that really hooked me. I was in the Horsemen. I love the Horsemen. Those guys like Barry Windham, guys like you had, Ronnie Garvin. You had all those guys. You had Manny Fernandez and Rick Rude tagging up.
The Von Erichs
in Texas. Those guys really were really, really good. Really good. And I think it's kind of lost. It would behoove some of us these days to go back and watch a lot of that.
Yeah, and the female wrestling as well, female wrestlers back then too.
There were a few. You would see them kind of few and far between. But when you did see them, they made an impact.
Yeah, but a lot of them also played a lot of manager roles, which was really a key to the main wrestlers as well.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you look at what Luna Vachon after her, for her career.
Oh yeah. If you want to take it back,
Sherry Martel,
Sherry Martel, so great, so great.
Like
Sherry Martel,
the way that she would cut a promo, like gosh, it was just like right on key. She knew how to do it to get the people's attention, get the people's around her's attention, and to piss off the opponent too.
She was so good, and a wonderful lady. I met her many years ago before she had passed.
Oh, I met Luna Vachon before she passed. It was with Paul Bearer. Like I have a little indie show, little crappy Cardi indie show. Hey, but well, you know what? That federation made a lot of guys where they are today, so I can't complain. By Joey Janela from the Bad Boy himself.
Yeah. That's what's up. Now, I admit these days I don't follow. I don't follow wrestling near as much as I used to. I'm so big. I guess I'm immersed in it. So sometimes it's tough for me to actually sit down and catch some of the stuff that's on TV, and especially some of the indie stuff that's running around. that's happening.
Game Changer Wrestling. Yes, Game Changer Wrestling, GCW. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I've been to a Game Changer show. But I couldn't tell you what they have going on and what they've done recently, and because I'm just not a social media guy either. I can't.
I know. Yeah, they just got back from New York City's Hammerstein. They did a big show.
Oh, they did Hammerstein. Okay.
They did. Yeah, little Jeff Jarrett came. Little Jeff Jarrett came back for a little surprise visit.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Jeff Jarrett is a fantastic human being as well.
And I guess the guy, Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Come make it his. But you know what? He needs to get the character and just keep it going, because not with the woo stuff, Zack Ryder, but just his character is just funny. It's just you need that in wrestling. You need to catch more people. But Jeff Jarrett, to see him back, kind of you're like, wow. This guy has been wrestling for how long? And then
a long time, yeah.
I know, and I was never forget the time I saw him. He came to New Jersey to a promotion, and it was Russo was in charge of it as well, Vince Russo. I was like, no way, I have to go see this, just to see what it's all about,
right?
And he bashed the crew, bash New Jersey, of course. You're gonna get to bash him everything,
Yeah.
But no, he made a name for himself, but the impact and just the way that he King of the Mountain. Come on,
King of the Mountain.
Going back and watching the old stuff is better than the newer product,
Some of it is, and Jeff he was one of those guys, the young guy that I saw as a kid, coming up out of Memphis, and I didn't even mention Memphis earlier.
No.
How can we forget about that? Of course.
Yes.
Memphis as well, that territory. Jeff Jarrett was. I think Jeff Jarrett's always been great. He's always been great. He had it when he was young, just a young rookie, and he just, and he has that. It's being a promoter's son, I imagine, has its positives and negatives, but the positives, as far as learning what you need to do, have to outweigh the negatives by a long shot.
Yeah, because he's been around so long, it's unbelievable. And he still has a character. He'll still do his hit guy with the guitar. Come on, that'll never die.
Oh yeah,
that's like the honky tonk band, reverse of the honky tonk band.
Yeah, I was just on the show with him, Jeff Jarrett, that is, relatively recently, a few months back, and excellent guy, excellent guy. I really enjoyed working with him.
Yeah, actually, also I just saw him recently in Atlantic City when he made his debut, like behind the curtain. I was in the elevator. My buddy told me, "Hey, sorry, buddy, you got to take the next elevator." I was like, "Oh, great!" And I got to go to the bathroom, take a piss, go to the restroom, and come out. And they said, "You can't. You got to go through this door." And I saw a guitar right in the corner, and I saw Jeff Jarrett. I came right back in when he was just about to come out.
Yeah,
that was great.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Now, you know what? I got a question for you.
Ooh, go ahead.
Death match Russell. Why? Are you a big death match guy?
I love the little blood. I love the art of death match wrestling. How's that?
Okay, it's fair enough. Fair enough. I personally do not partake in the death match wrestling.
No. It's a lot of, hey, you know what? We have a lot of friends that do it in the business these days.
Oh yeah, I know tons of guys, and they're some, the ones that I enjoy. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy watching, at least the ones that are really good anyway. I enjoy watching those guys. There are some that are not so good, I will admit.
I know there's a guy named Alex Colon, John Wayne Murdoch, Reed Bentley, AJ Gray. Shout out to him. He's doing good things.
Is AJ doing death matches these days? Is that his shtick? Okay.
Not all the time. Not all the time.
Right. No, I'd imagine not all the time.
No. But yeah, I think tonight tonight they have a show in Dallas, Texas. Game Changers at Loco Wrestling.
Okay.
They're doing a show with them, branch show tonight.
All right.
Shout out to them.
Man, I'm so out of the loop, man. I couldn't.
I know.
Tell you, man.
Fight TV. Shout out to Fight TV for that. Yes.
Yeah, shout out to Fight. Shout out to Fight. I'm on Fight often, and go check out Fight TV. They've got if you're a combat sports fan, Fight TV is gonna have everything you need. Everything. You got boxing, you got MMA, you got wrestling. You got everything.
Yeah, it's like IWTV as well. Shout out to IWTV network as well. Yeah.
IWTV.
I know. But that's about just the way that they present themselves. It's the way that they do their art in the ring. It's like a wrestling. It's like they just get in the ring and paint the canvas. Just dance.
Yeah, all right. Fair enough. I was just curious. I mean, you could have been, deathmatch Russell and don't even like death matches. It's like a cool name.
No, I grew up watching Cactus Jack. Come on, we all grew up watching Mick Foley and met him millions of times. He's a great character. And I actually asked him a question one time did a house Q&A session at a local wrestle convention, reunion convention, Bill Apter of Pro Wrestling One was there, and I was like, let me see what this is about. Let me give this a try. Hey, Mick. So I go up to the microphone, nervous as hell, as a kid, and I say, Mick Foley, what was it like going off the top of the steel cage versus Undertaker? He was scared shitless, he said.
Oh yeah, I mean,
that was his moment. That was the moment. I know.
How can you not be? Like they say, the fall's not so bad. It's that abrupt ending to the fall that'll get you.
Yeah, but then over the years you just watch Cactus Jack to Funk to everybody who just paved the way for wrestling, and then Japanese wrestlers as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now here we are today, and they're just doing their thing, and it's great. Yeah. But we have all these wrestlers doing, they're stepping their game up, but wrestling is a different level now. That they want to show who's who, and it's about that W. It's about the respect.
That's it. How else do you get that paper? How else?
Yeah.
This is how it is. And that's the name of the game. And if you're in the game for any other reason than that, I don't know what you're doing. You're playing the wrong game. Maybe you should go play Monopoly. Maybe some Scrabble or Sorry or something. Wrestling about them dividends.
What is your worst injury ever in your career? Have you ever had any scares or,
I mean,
collarbone,
probably
shoulder?
I've only had chronically I've had some shoulder injuries, some ankle injuries. But I think I've only ever broken one bone. Probably a broken bone in my hand was probably the worst one I had. For the most part. Now, as far I have plenty of sprains and strains and pulls and bruises and all of that. That's an everyday thing.
That comes with the territory. Yeah, that comes
that's what you get after you have your welcome to wrestling meeting. They hand you a few injuries, a few pain. Here, take this ankle injury. Oh, okay. Oh man, all right.
Yeah, you're gonna have an award, right? Yeah, the next award goes to broken collarbone.
Yeah, but probably I broke my hand once, and probably foolishly I didn't go to the hospital. I kind of said it myself and kind of wrapped it and continued my normal schedule of wrestling.
That's like a deathmatch wrestler. That's like a deathmatch wrestler trying to explain a piece of glass coming.
I mean, it happened, and I broke my nose too. But it was, I think the hand was worse. I also just kept wrestling on the broken nose as well. I never got it fixed. Those are probably my two worst because you break bones. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than that. Everything else is just
the common, just the common stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I played a little ball at a pretty high level, football, so I'm used to the banging and the bruising and all that. It just comes with the territory. So wrestling, it was just almost like a continuation.
Are you ready for the Super Bowl?
I am. I would have been a lot more ready had I'm a big San Francisco 49ers fan, and I thought that we're going to relive 1988 with the Bengals versus the Niners, but it didn't quite go that way.
I'm an Eagles, of course, but boo, whatever.
Yeah,
That's all right.
it's fine. Now I just don't know, but I'm like I don't have a team. I'm not rooting for either one. I'm hoping
We'll
for an
see.
exciting game.
Yeah, we'll see what the Bengals could do. We know that. I've heard that name millions of times. Yeah, my friends like, all right, Bengals, better bet on. So whatever.
Yeah, listen, I've been thinking about throwing a couple ducats down. I've thought about it. But I probably won't. I'll probably just sit and enjoy the game.
Yeah.
I love I love football. Love at all levels, high school, college, pro. Doesn't matter. I think there's a new league coming out. They're bringing the USFL back. I think this summer. I spent some time up in Canada playing ball, so I also enjoy all the Canadian ball and. If they bring back NFL Europe, like I'd watch NFL Bolivia. I don't care where it is. You strapping hats on and y'all hitting people. Well, the NFL's only kind of hitting people these days. I'm gonna watch it. You got me. I even watched a little bit of that lingerie football league, and that was fairly entertaining. Those girls get after it.
That's it. Hey,
they really do. I mean, I turned it on as a rib to somebody, and we started watching it. I'm like.
But then you click off the TV when it's the Power Puppy Bowl, okay?
Well, no puppy bowl. That's where I draw the line.
That's kind of dumb. Whatever. That's
But if you remember the old Bud and Bud Light commercials,
yes.
Now the Bud Bowl, they should bring that back.
They should
bring back the Bud Bowl.
Oh man, but it should be good. We'll see what happens.
Yes, we will see what happens. We'll check it out.
Do you follow any other sports as well? Or?
I used to be a sports fanatic and follow everything.
Baseball too,
Baseball. I mean, I watch if billiards was on ESPN, I'd be watching. I used to watch bowling. I used to watch everything. Now
that's something I miss doing. Going to the bar, and playing a good old game of billiards.
I haven't done that in a while myself.
No, I know. It's like going to the bowling alley. That's what you would do. Go next door.
I used to bowl in the league. I used to be a pretty avid bowler. But nowadays I'm just busy. I don't have time to keep up with it all. I'll catch an NBA game when I can, if a baseball game happens to be on, or I'll watch a hockey game when I can. But for the most part, I keep myself occupied with I'm either teaching or promoting or wrestling, and if I'm not doing that, I got kids of my own and an old lady of my own that I gotta spend some time with too. So it makes it difficult.
How old are your kids? Ooh.
Oh man, I have two girls here. One is 10, and one is 5.
Oh man, I have some nephews and nieces that are just growing like crazy.
Oh yeah, that's what they do.
I mean, I have a nephew who is about 13 years old, 12 years old, or 13. He's got the hoarse voice already, man, of an old man.
Oh yeah, he's got. It doesn't take long.
No.
That's about the time my voice changed. Actually, my voice changed over a weekend when I was 12 to 13, somewhere in there. I went into the weekend speaking like a little 12-year-old, and I came out talking a lot like I sound right now. It was a big change. That's for
sure. They're all active in sports, and which is good. Karate, a lot of the jiu-jitsu, and and gymnastics, of course. My niece, and so they're all active.
Yeah, when you have all that, it's hard to do all the stuff that you want to do.
But I never tell them about the deathmatch stuff. They'll never know.
Well, that's probably a good thing. For now,
but I will eventually take them to a show just to go see what it's like. I think they would have a fun time.
I agree. I fully believe when done right, wrestling is almost the perfect family get together, gathering, outing, however you want to put it. Especially a show. I'm about to say not to toot my own horn, but to toot our horn over at Grindhouse Pro Wrestling in Jeffersonville, Indiana. We really promote a family atmosphere. I want you to bring your 2-year-old son or daughter to your 92-year-old grandpa or grandma, and they're gonna have equally a good time. Everybody in between.
That's like my local promotion, Titan Championship Wrestling. That's what they do. They have like the match. They also have like a fun house. They call it the Fun House Wrestling. For kids.
Okay.
It's
okay.
It's so they can have enjoy wrestlers.
You got to, man.
Yeah.
You got to. There's so much going on these days. There's so much. Like when I was a kid, half the stuff you see on TV, the FCC would have never allowed that. But there's so much that we can get away with these days. And then nowadays, there's so much, drugs going on. There's this, there's that. Like we at Grindhouse, we're building a community atmosphere, and we're gonna give, no matter what age, but especially the youth, something to do. Once a month to come in, give you some heroes to cheer for, and on top of that, and lesson and to tell the lessons throughout the wrestling. But also on top of that, we also give you a possible career choice. Not everybody wants to go to college to do this and that. Not everybody wants to go do this, or even after college. Professional wrestling is a viable career. If you can dive into it and really
do it the right, do the right research, do everything
that you can do it the right way, and that's what we focus on at Grindhouse, is trying to teach it and do it the right way.
That's awesome. That's a good. That's a good way to do it. And it's like the summertime, you would do like a fair show, and it's like that's what you want the kids. Kids come out and watch a wrestling show in the hot heat.
Yeah, and listen, if it's good enough, you forget that you're out there in the heat. That's the thing, everybody, I think everybody looks at wrestling as almost like a second-rate form of entertainment somehow, but it really doesn't get much better than a live wrestling show, especially on a level that's not quite as big as like the WWE and all that, because they're more worried about the TV revenue than anything. You come to a show like Grindhouse, or even say Game Changer, or these shows around like this.
Yes,
we're worried about the people. There's an exchange between the people and the wrestlers, and it's palpable, and it's real, and the people keep coming back to get it. That's why we do so well, because the people come in the door and they're going to interact with the wrestlers. They get to yell, scream at them, cheer, whatever. Heck, I don't even mind if they throw something at them every now and then.
And you look at you also look at the crowds and at OVW. Like, come on, you got some really fans that are like diehard fans, and
there are some diehard fans. We are blessed to have the the television product as well, which certainly does help. Certainly does help. Yeah, but I think sometimes we forget about the people out there, and we go out there and wrestle for ourselves. But ultimately,
but you know what? But you know what? I always say it. Thank you for doing what you do. It's because you're doing something fun that you enjoy.
Oh yeah.
And
you say it's a hobby? No, it's not a hobby.
Not a hobby.
Trust
it's
that.
Not a hobby.
Now, for some, I thought that's what you said. I apologize. And for some people, it is a hobby. And you'll ask different people, and they'll give you different answers and their opinions on that. I guess I'm one to say, if you want to do it as a hobby, that's fine. Just don't get in the way of all of us who do this for a living.
Who travel. Yes, who do the grind, do the because it's a day, it's a job. You can't.
It is. Just because you love what you're doing, it doesn't mean that it's not a job and it's not work.
Let me ask you this. What was your funnest moment, like heckling a fan, or worst experience heckling a fan, like or an interaction somehow?
Oh, okay. But say I
like
well,
an older lady, grandma,
Really, I got you. Well, when I was, back in my sinning days before I became Reverend Ronnie Roberts, I was ravishing Ronnie Roberts, and boy, did I have a good time with the front row every time I came out. I still do, but it was a little different back then, and those were some really entertaining times. I'd get in. I used to wear a singlet. I'd come out and I'm gyrating my hips, and I'm overly stretching in front of them, toe touches and things, and we can guess what ends facing them and things of that nature. That was a lot of fun and very entertaining. And some people really got upset about it. And then there are moments where this is gonna sound odd, but one of my favorite interactions is where this was. I don't even know how many years ago this was. It's almost a decade ago, I'm sure, in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, where I beat a wrestler named Alex Angel for his title, and then I hung him with a noose. And that after that, you hear guys talking about they started a riot. That's one of those times where we started a riot. It was just they're yelling at me. Somebody threw out the N word, and to my surprise, half the crowd was with it, half the crowd was against it. So then the crowd turned on each other, and it was madness.
That sounds like my friend Brad Cash. He told me a story where he went to a show and they had pitchforks.
Oh yeah. Oh, listen. Anytime you hear those. You hear those banjos playing, brother. You got to be prepared when you go anywhere. You hear the ding, 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 ding. You got to be ready. You got to be ready for anything.
Yeah, it's like going to a dingy. It's like when you go to a dingy bingo, like a dingy hall or something. You're like, oh, great, this is going to be something interesting.
Well, listen, sometimes those end up being some of the best venues, to be honest with you. Every now and then, now don't get me wrong, sometimes if it looks shaky, it is. But sometimes you go in and you'll see some of the best wrestlers, and they'll go on to be. I guarantee you, all the guys you see on TV, they started out in those dingy, and you see it. I'm like, wow, those guys that was really good. And you leave that show thinking, wow, that was excellent. So we can't poo-poo the dingy bingo halls now.
No, or the VFW halls, or
the VF, or all of that, all those the
boys and girls clubs and
the high school gyms, any of that. Where because quite frankly,
do you notice that not a lot is like nowadays? It's not a really big showing of that anymore. I notice at school
of what
school, like being at schools.
Oh, well, I think it's a big insurance thing.
I think,
to be honest with
that's what I'm thinking.
That's probably what it is for the most part.
That's
And
why
nowadays things are just a little different. Even I'm sure even some of the VFW halls and things would be difficult to get in there, and some of the what they call the military establishments.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. I can't think of the name right now. Sorry. Armories. Lord.
Armories.
Some of the armories and things. But and it's just a different time. It's the COVID season, and COVID's got everything all wish-washy and upside down.
Check. Yep, they gotta have their list. Yep,
everything. That's why we're super blessed in Jeffersonville and Grindhouse. We've got our own building. We take care of everything in there. Got our own ring, and we don't really have to worry about having to deal with the hassle of dealing with someone else's building.
I like the lighting of it. I like how the lighting hits the ring. It's just perfect. Like, people don't realize.
Oh yeah.
Camera angles. Come on. That's
at least for a Grindhouse show anyway. I don't know what anybody else who runs in there. I don't know how they do their lights, but we certainly have a way that we do ours. Absolutely. Yeah. Have you seen the pictures or anything about the last show we had last Sunday?
No,
let me tell you, it was
a good show.
Excellent. Have you ever been in that building? You've been in the arena in Jeffersonville?
I never.
No, you're in New Jersey. Never mind.
I know. I need to make my trip. I need to make my trip one of these days. I know. I plan to do some place traveling again.
Yeah, but it was packed. It was literally standing room only. Some people say that. There were people standing because that's all the room they had, and those boys and girls put on one heck of a show. My goodness, I'm very proud of them. I'm super proud. Tough Tony and I, pretty much run the whole thing. I'm the head trainer, and just to see all of our guys, and we bring in some other young guys as well, and obviously some veterans to come in to mix with them. But for the most part, it's our homegrown talent, and those guys are crushing it. Those guys are crushing it.
People want to see that. People need to see that.
They do.
And it's a shame that people don't look at one promotion. All right, what are they going to do? Can they do better than this other one? No, it doesn't matter.
Well, listen,
competition.
The way I look at it is, I don't compete with anybody. We don't compete with anybody. We go do our thing.
Yeah,
that's all we know how to do. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, You don't. All I know is I had a bunch of people in there who packed that house who enjoyed it. That's all I know. And that's all
Yeah.
I'm worried about. I have a philosophy, and this is in my wrestling career, and as I try to teach this to the boys and girls as well.
Mm-hmm.
People ask me all the time, "Oh man, Rev, when you gonna make it to AEW? Yeah, when you gonna make it to yada yada yada, this and that." Listen,
See, you know what?
I don't worry about all that. If it happens, it happens. That's great. But I know the key is, as long as every time I step through that curtain, I go do what I need to do, everything else will work out on its own. The future is not a real thing. It doesn't exist. All we have is
No.
right now. That's it. So long as I do what I need to do, what I'm doing right now,
Is
when the
what you're
future
doing.
comes,
Yeah.
it'll
And
handle itself.
If not, so what? Right? If not, it's just another opportunity at a different place, or
Oh, brother, I've lived my dream.
Yeah.
I had a dream of being a pro wrestler as a kid, and not only have I been a pro wrestler, but this is what I do. This is like, I don't punch a clock anywhere else or anything. And that right there, people don't know, that is a blessing. And I can encourage anybody, not just wrestling, to pursue your passion, find something you like to do and you're good at it.
Yeah.
And make it work for you to where you can do that, to feed yourself, to clothe yourself, to shelter, put a roof over your head.
It's just like us podcasters. It's like us podcasters. We're doing the work. We're putting it in to get the word out of wrestling.
That's it. Punching the clock is it sucks to excuse my language.
I
but
do that. I do that during the day.
you know what I'm saying.
I'm a garbage man.
I did it for the majority of my life. Garbage man. That's awesome. That's a great job.
Sanitation job. Yeah.
That's great. I don't want to poo-poo anybody who has to have a job, because most people do. But I encourage, especially if there's any young people, or if there's any young wrestlers and young people in general, hey, put the grind in, put the time in, especially when you're young, so you can reap the benefits when you're later.
Yeah,
as you get older.
Do the work, go to college, be smart, do schooling. Don't be a dropout.
It's always good to have a backup plan. It's always good to have a backup plan, but I'm gonna here's how my idea is. I'm gonna give my kids the option. I set up a little fund for them, and I just like to add to it.
Yes.
By the time it's time for them to go to college, they can either they can go to college, or they can if they have a business idea they want to pursue, I'm gonna back them and let them go do that. Because if you love it and you put in the work and gain the knowledge, or do the research and things you need to do, I'd rather you go out there and go try to be a professional and go do whatever you love to do, than going to school for 4 years and got to pay back all that student loans and all that kind of thing. I'll back you on your business plan. And if it fails, guess what? We'll come up with another one. And if you feel like you want to go to school after that, fine. But I'm going to give them the option. I'm not going to force college on them. If they, if they graduate high school and they just don't have a plan, they plan might be college.
Right.
But I'm trying to raise smart kids, man, and not the status quo. The status quo is grow up, go to school, go to college, start a family, get a job, just so your kids can do the whole thing over again. Well, I've learned to break that mold, brother. My thing is, go to school, find your passion, get passionate about something, learn the skills you need in order to make that passion come to life. And then by the time you 18, 19, 20, go for it. Because dad's got your back. Because dad's got your back. Because I know what's important. Mental health is important.
Absolutely.
And sometimes going to college and sometimes doing all that is not great for everyone's mental health. Everybody's different, So I want my kids to succeed out the gate as quickly as possible. So by the time they become 26, 27, 28, they might have 2-3 businesses going already. I think that's what we're missing a little bit in this country, especially. They get stuck on that school, and you know how many people I know have a degree who cannot find a job in whatever they're doing. No, they over here, they serving me at a restaurant somewhere.
Yeah,
and
they're a Burger King.
Doggone marine biologists and things, and then, like I said, I'm not poo-pooing school, because school is great if you use it the right way, but the majority of people do not. So so I'm going to try to give my kids the option,
and
set them
absolutely,
up for success.
because if your kids are good and right now in school is what they're they're doing good in school, and that's what that's the big key right now. Also, they're fighting this. They're fighting themselves. You're being proud because they had to do that homeschool shit for COVID, and and that was a crazy time of year. I'm sure that really puts you to. You're like, I can't get out of my house now because these kids have to do their education online. Yeah,
it's part of having a good partner, because while a lot of that was going on, I was still out and about running around, in my underwear wrestling folks and trying to, doing that gig. But the way I look at it is, I will never depend on just the school to teach my kids what they need to know. So, there's, say, my oldest here. She great at math and science. She struggles in the reading department, kind of thing. Not really struggles. She's okay at reading when she should be really good. So, I'm not going to depend on the school to do that. It's funny. I even have it sitting right in front of me. I write, make her read books and write questions and make her answer and everything, to get her where she needs to be. So she can be successful in whatever she wants to do.
Absolutely.
So if you're a parent, you can't depend on a certain institution to teach your kids everything that you need to know. That, in my mind, that is just a terrible idea. It's a bad idea.
Let me ask you this: what's your movie? What are you into? What kind of movies? Any kind of movies?
You know what? I don't watch a lot of movies. As people will tell you, they'll be, "Oh man, did you see this?" And I'll be like, "No, I haven't
Did you
seen
see Spider-Man? I haven't seen Spider-Man.
I have not seen Spider-Man yet.
Me neither. I know,
but he is my favorite comic book character.
And it's like my friends are telling me, "Have you seen the new Jackass movie?" No, I haven't seen it yet. I could care less about that.
Yeah, but I do enjoy the Marvel movies. The Marvel movies. I was a comic book kid growing up. I even still read some comic books these days when I come across them. So I enjoy those. I enjoy a good movie. I don't care what category it is. If it's a good movie, however, it's very rare that I'll take a chance on a movie and actually watch it. It's got to be something that when the next Avengers come out, I won't go to the theater, but I'll watch it as soon as it comes on Disney Plus or whatever. And it's just,
I think the new generation is the Disney Plus crowd. I'm noticing.
Well, everything's becoming streaming now. Everything's becoming, you can do everything at home, and I think there is some definitely positives to that, but there's also negatives to that. I think I'm much more of a, hey, I'd rather talk to you.
What are these things? Do we even use these things anymore? DVDs?
Rarely.
Yeah,
let me tell you about a guy like me. I would still use a pigeon to communicate if I could. That's how
tie string. Tie the string to the rope. And
what's happening, man? And then I'll wait. But I still, what I play, like people are waiting on a PlayStation 5. I still play a PlayStation 3. It's hooked up right there.
Still. I got it too. All right.
That's what's up, man.
Collecting dust. Dust.
I don't get into all this new stuff. No. I will say the last two movies that I've watched was Red Notice with Ryan Reynolds and The Rock and what's her name, Gal Gadot. I don't know how to say her name. I thought that was excellent. And then the movie with all the melanated cowboys. It's got Idris Elba and the guy who's playing in the new Marvel, about to be the new villain. I can't think of his name right now. That movie was excellent. I thought it was excellent. And those are the last two movies I have seen, and I just so happen that I like them both. Most of the time, I'm pretty skeptical about what I watch because I would much rather spend my time doing something that I know I'm going to enjoy than roll the dice and maybe enjoy this movie. Which is why I don't watch a lot of movies unless it's like a Marvel movie. I'm pretty sure I'm going to enjoy that, so I'll go watch it.
Yeah, I think like the last Marvel movie I ever saw was probably Thor. I think that when that came out, or Hercules, whatever it was.
Or Hercules is not Marvel, sir.
Oh, all right, whatever. Okay, I'm flipping them tails.
Hercules is a DC character.
Yes.
But yeah,
different prodigy. Okay, there you go. Different creator. Yeah. But no, music wise, what do you?
I like a little bit of everything. Nowadays I'm finding that everything, if you put pop music everything is skewing towards pop. There's country pop, and there's rock pop, and hop, hip hop pop, or whatever. It's
It's
everything's
like
starting.
country rap. Yeah,
That's what I mean.
know.
Everything is starting to become all music. It's all starting to kind of go downhill into that. So I'm still an old school hip hop head, because in my formative years, hip hop.
Method Man.
Did you say Method Man? That was my favorite. How'd you know? Somebody has smartened you up. He was my favorite rapper back in the day. Method.
I grew up. I grew up that's like the jams.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So you just got big time cool points now. Big time cool points.
Vanilla, not just Vanilla Ice from Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yes, no, come on, but that was addicting because
that's funny.
The movie did come out, and we were proud of that. That was a cool moment growing up watching Ninja Turtles. Okay, we had the,
go Ninja, go.
But you think about it, but then you had the wrestler Facade who had that music. Remember?
Did Facade use that?
Go Ninja, go! Yes.
I mean, I know he's the Neon Ninja, but I didn't know. Yes. I hadn't heard him. I've only encountered him at OVW, which I'm pretty sure that song is copywritten, so I wouldn't have heard it.
I'm sure, probably not. Yeah, but I think I believe he's used that. I'm not sure, but whenever you hear Go Ninja, go, you'd be like, hey, we know that line from Ninja Turtles or something, don't we? Or Vanilla Ice.
That's him. But I listen to a little bit of everything. I like
DMX. DMX too.
DMX is my guy, but I didn't just listen to hip hop. I actually like a little rock. I mean, and at least nowadays I don't listen to almost anything new. But 10 years ago, I was a big Rise Against. I enjoyed them as a band. I'm sure there's some other bands I can think of. I just have to take time to actually think about it. And I enjoy a good country ballad. I enjoy a little bit of heavy metal. I like hip hop and R&B a lot, especially the old school stuff nowadays. I'm a big jazz guy. I even listen to a little bit of classical sometimes. So whatever mood or whatever energy you happen to be putting in, let me tell you what I really like as far as songs. I just saw that movie Encanto with the kids. And that guy, what's his name? Lin Marquez Manuel, whatever his name is, he's excellent. He did the soundtrack for Moana and Encanto, and I can't get We Don't Talk About Bruno out of my head. And you may not know what that is, but people watching, they've seen the movie, they know exactly. It got so big, it became the #1 song in the nation from a Disney movie. It is very catchy and is very good stuff. So was that movie. By the way, I take that back. I have seen another movie, Encanto, and it was excellent.
Okay, you know what? Maybe I'll go watch that later tonight. How's that?
Yes, if you grab your nieces and nephews or something, it's certainly worth a watch with them for sure.
Yeah, right. I don't know if I don't even know if they compete with these battle bots and this and that. I don't know anymore.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on.
These kids have all these weird toys these days. I don't even know what the hell.
Well, the toys just play with themselves. They don't even gotta play with them anymore. The toys you just set them up and the toys play. And the kids get bored after a while because they don't have to do anything.
No, it's like the animated toy movie, right?
Yeah.
Toy Story or whatever that was.
Yeah, Toy Story. That's what it was.
We're plugging a lot of Disney movies tonight, folks. Yeah.
Well, you know what? Deathmatch Russell podcast brought to you by Disney. You wish Disney. It was anyway. Get you some of them Disney books. Be like Ice Cube, and get some of them Disney books. Disney money. I love that. Hey, Disney, if you listening, I hope you got enough stroke, Russell, where Disney is watching. Because listen, I know a guy who might do his little voice acting for you, or whatever you need, Disney. I got you. You.
This guy over here can do it. He does it all. Not only on TV, he's a cartoon actor as well.
Man, I do it all. Actually, I will admit, voice acting is my next frontier that I want to get into. I used to get told as a young wrestler, in order to help supplement wrestling, I used to do a lot of bartending and serving and stuff. And every other table, somebody be like, "Oh, hey, are you on radio? Oh man, you could be the next this is CNN guy." And then they'd always say all this kind of thing, So I finally started listening and figured, okay, well maybe I should dive into it and actually see.
This is KTUW Radio. Right now, you're listening to.
Whatever.
Yeah,
I'll take anything. I'd love to voice some cartoon character on some show or something like that. Or, I'll even, I'll be the new Morgan Freeman and do all the documentaries. It's whatever. I don't have to say ha after every sentence. I can go without it sometimes. So
pursue it. Hey, there you go.
That's me. Is anybody else listening? Yeah, hey. Anybody need some good voice actor? Hey, holla at your boy. I'll get it done for you.
Oh man, this was really great. Let's call it a night. How's that? We're done. I'm good.
Okay, fair enough. Before we go, can I just talk about a couple things?
Yeah, I'll put you on the spot. Number one.
OVW, Tough Love coming. Oh, look at you. And there's all my social media right there. You can find me on Facebook, Ronnie Roberts or Triple R Superstar. On Twitter, you can find me at Ronnie Reverend. That's my second account. My first account, I kind of got locked out of it, so come follow me there. Instagram at Ronnie_1. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, or you got it up there. It's exactly what it is. And right now, the site is kind of being reconstructed. Hello, Kangar. What's up? Way to come in at the end. Boom. What's up? There he is. He's from the Bronx. Bronx in the house.
Yeah, shout out to my friend. That's it.
Bronx in the house. All right. Well, listen, I'm glad you missed it.
Yes.
Merch game.
Go back and rewind.
Go back and watch. That's right. ChopShopWrestling.com. Site's currently under a little bit of construction, but here in a couple of days, you should be able to go on there, get you a T-shirt. This is old school. This is a Ravishing Ronnie Roberts T-shirt. Actually, kind of stole the Rockstar Links logo. Nowadays, I got merchandise, got T-shirts, got pictures, got church fans, whatever you need. Go to ChopShopWrestling.com or message me, and we'll get you there. Find Grindhouse Pro Wrestling Academy on Facebook. That's where I teach. That's where I train. And also we run shows once a month. Next show will be February 27th, and we've got Rhino coming to probably gore somebody. Yeah, I promise you, it's not going to be me. I'm going to stay out of the way of all of that. If you're looking to become a professional wrestler, you're in the Kentuckiana area, look us up at Grindhouse Pro Wrestling. We have a lot of experience. We have affordable rates, and we're going to teach you the right way how to do this. And also, OVW Tough Love is coming up next week. Big show. I don't know what I'm doing on it, but I can only assume that America's Reverend, the chosen one, the blessed one, the man whose hand is guided by the big man's hand upstairs, your boy, the Triple R Superstar, Reverend Ronnie Roberts, will be on the show. We'll be blessing somebody and hopefully getting that dub and getting to the pay window. Anything else from you, Mr. Deathmatch Russell?
I want to say thank you for coming on the podcast, and I'll see you again. Maybe you come back on. I like to come back on anytime the doors are open at the studio.
Well, listen, you just hit me up. All up in the New England area. If you want to book the good
East
Reverend,
Coast, West Coast, yes, West Coast, everywhere.
Feel free to hit me up on any of the social medias I just said. I do travel, and I do travel well.
I want to say thank you for coming on and have a good night. And what do I got?
No problem.
What do I? Oh, that's right. You just said, what do you have coming up, David? Well, this Wednesday night at 8 p.m., I'm going to be with my co-host, the co-host for the night, Everett Lee of the Everett Lee Show. We're going to be talking to Titan Tag Team Champions Team Takeover, PJ Savage and Ransom, about their upcoming match against two guys named Chris Bradley and Ross, and they're thirsty for those tag team titles. Thirsty for them titles at the oh gosh, I gotta get Tom's River Adrenaline Sports Academy. And
you should have got me
Tom's River
over.
Oh, you know what? But
you should have had me read all that.
Yeah. All right. Rewind, but yeah, that's what's happened this week, and much more, and wrestling, and then take a little break. I got a special tag team coming up I'm working on, SAT.
Special
yes.
Is it the mega? Yeah, the mega. Yeah, the mega power. Obviously not.
I got something special in the works. I can't say just yet, but I will. No, you know what? You're here, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it. You heard it here tonight on the Deathmatch Russell podcast. Next Wednesday, not this Wednesday, but the following Wednesday night, I'm going to have tag team specialists SAT on the podcast.
SAT.
Jose and Maximal, and his brother, and Joseph and Jose Maximo of the SAT.
The SAT.
We'll be on the podcast. Stay tuned.
I might have to check it out.
With my co-host Everett Lee of the Everett Lee Show as well.
Now let me ask you this real quick before we go. You have a co-host, Everett Lee. Where's Everett Lee tonight?
He's actually doing a podcast. No, it's over right now. He should jump into this podcast, but
wait a minute.
He's in Florida. He's a Florida podcaster as well. So he's got
even though he's your co-host, he decided that he was gonna go speak to somebody else and not speak to Reverend Ronnie Roberts.
No.
Unless a man would be offended, I am just slightly miffed.
Yes. Would you like to say hello to him? He can pop in. Just give him a second. He can come in here.
He can. I don't know if I want to talk to him. He clearly didn't want to speak to me. I mean, I do believe I'm kind of an Old Testament guy sometimes, an eye for an eye now.
Yeah. I'm telling him. He guess wants you.
I do. I want to grill him.
You want to grill him? Okay.
Yeah, I do. I want to mess with him.
All right. Hold on. Here he comes. Let me just send this like that. Just magical little tweet. Watch this. Here we go. Ah, yes. Here he comes. Let's see if I get this other list up.
Shout out to Kangar in Brooklyn, though. I see.
Yes.
Appreciate you listening, brother.
He's doing a grind. Oh, man, there's a lot of people popping on my post about, you're turning 45 in a couple days. 10 days. What is that? Come on.
You're about to turn 45? All right.
45, my friend. I know.
You made it. You made it to 45.
Yeah. Where's my Smucker's commercial, right? Oh, no, wait. That's 100 years old.
Now you're dating yourself.
Yeah. Let's see if he pops in. I'm sure he's not going to pop in because he's busy doing editing.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll leave him be for now.
I will bug him. I will bug him for you, and I'll tell him that you want in a show.
All right.
As that.
Yeah, fair enough.
Thank you.
Fair enough.
All right. You have a good night, my friend.
Until next time. You do the same, brother. I appreciate you. And just one last thing. Can I get a yay, man?
Yay, man. How's that?
I'll take it.
All right. Good night, everybody. Till then.
Good night.
All right. Oh, plug this damn thing. Too much stuff here. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Good night, everybody.
You can find more Deathmatch Russell podcasts on the following social media: deathmatchrussell.com, follow on Twitter @DavidNJ32, and on Facebook, facebook.com/DJDaveNJ32, Instagram @DavidNJ36. Hey, wrestling fans, I want to mention Collar and Elbow. Collar and Elbow was founded on traditional values of professional wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product intended to connect with people on an emotional level, a symbiotic relationship where one cannot flourish without the other. We strive to create a product that embodies our passion for professional wrestling expressed through street fashion. Visit collarandelbowbrand.com and use the promo code code DeathmatchRussellPodcast and save 10% off when you make a purchase. Collar and Elbow, where wrestling passion meets street fashion. Me on Podcast City Network at podcastcity.net, facebook.com/Podcast City Network. Hit the like button and share. And on Twitter at Podcast City Net. Also on Johnner's Wrestling Podcast Network, www.wrestlingwithjohners.com. You can hear Deathmatch Russell Podcast on Stitcher Radio and on iTunes.